thank you for doing this again.
Hey, thank you for having me.
I love that your character gets to do the dialogues in your natural accent, and I know that you didn't have to change that. I love that that was kind of incorporated in it. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, I was really glad too because I had so many other things to prep and learn because I didn't know anything about Formula One when I started the movie. So when they wanted me to be Irish, I was like, oh, thank God, like one less thing to worry about. Plus, the shoot was almost 2 years. So that would have been like quite draining actually having to work in an accent for that long. So yeah, I was encouraged, and also it was interesting that like Formula One is a global sport. So I really liked the movie. Sort of has a lot of different nationalities represented in a really natural way. That when you actually go to one of the races, you sort of see that you see a lot of different accents and different nations, and everybody represented. So I thought that was fun.
I said, I know that you're really big for representing Irish characters, Irish culture on screen. You got this opportunity again in a very big, massive blockbuster movie like this. Along with that, you also got to wear your mother's ring, isn't it?
Yes. And I remember when I was growing up, we were big into movies, and Jerry Bruckheimer movies were like I could still quote so many Jerry Bruckheimer movies to this day. So when I was had the opportunity to be a leading lady in one of these movies, I like it was kind of something I never really envisioned in my career. Not that I didn't think I could do it, but more I'd never really seen an Irish person be a female lead in one of these big movies. So it was a major, major dream come true for me. And yeah, I wanted to wear the Claddagh ring just because I wanted to add that little extra Irish thing. And also there's the cute story that when you turn the ring out, you're single. And I just thought that it was a cute little thing for Kate, a little secret little thing that only certain people might know about.
I love that story. And in addition, you got to have a romantic track with Brad Pitt. Doesn't hurt at all, does it?
No, that was really nice. It was really great to work with him, and I had been such a fan for so long of his, and he also worked with a director. I had also worked with David Fincher, and David Fincher is just very he cannot stand mediocrity. And so I was excited to see Brad and what he was like to work with because I know, having worked with David, that Brad would have a standard that was really high. And David is also very much about like repetition. And so again, I knew that Brad then would be open to like trying it lots of different ways. And I was just excited to work with him, knowing all the different directors that he had worked with in his career.
I thought some of the audition scenes were so cute. Tell me how it was for you guys to kind of create that chemistry, both Brad and you.
Well, we had a lot of rehearsals because the movie was shot over 2 years, and then there was moments in the shoot when we were on a break because we were following the real Formula One circuit. So when we to shoot in Vegas, we had to wait until the circuit got to Vegas. So we had some time off. So it was quite tricky trying to remember how the scenes were shot out of order and how to sort of navigate how close they were getting at what particular point in the movie and not sort of giving it away too soon. But Joseph sort of helped with that. And then just obviously reality sets in, like on the balcony, it was actually freezing in real life. And, we shot the elevator scene at 8:30 on a Thursday morning. I mean, just like it just becomes work, once you take away the reality is a work situation.
Absolutely. But I've enjoyed watching all of the whole film and enjoyed the work that you've done in it as well. Thank you, Kerry, and all the very best for F1.
Thank you so much. Thank
Bye. Hello, everybody. I'm Rudrani, and welcome to Zoom Speak Easy. He surely knows how to entertain us and make movies that are larger than life. And he's so good at it. I'm talking about, of course, Joseph Kosinski. Thank you for doing this, Joseph.
Thank you for having me.
Like I said, I think you have excelled in the art of showing us how to make larger-than-life movies and entertain us. And what I particularly like about F1 is that you really feel the pulse and the thrill of the races and of everything that's happening. Tell us how it was for you to create that and how important that must have been for you. And of course, working with Brad and creating this movie.
I mean, it's been a 4-year adventure for me, traveling around the world with Formula One. We went to 9 different Formula One tracks, from Silverstone to Abu Dhabi. We shot during the real race weekends. We shot on the track next to the real Formula One teams. We had our own garage in the pits. We really were the 11th team on the grid, all in an effort to really give the audience the experience of being in the middle of a Formula One race. And Brad is obviously a giant movie star for a reason. He's an incredible actor. He gives an amazing performance in this film as Sonny Hayes, but he's also just a really great filmmaker. He's also producer on the movie with me, along with Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, and Jerry Bruckheimer. So we tried to capture the experience of being at a Formula One race, and hopefully we did.
Of course. I would also like you to tell me about creating stunts here in comparison to Top Gun, especially with people like Brad and Tom who love to do the stunts by themselves as well.
Yes.
Can you take us through that?
Yeah, no, they're very similar in that way. They both value the authenticity. They want to give the audience the most realistic experience, and that means that they would have both had to do these sequences on their own. Obviously, Tom in the jet, and Brad is actually driving the car here in this film, which took months of training. It was a grueling, training regimen because these cars are very demanding on the body. They you get so many G's, and it is dangerous, driving at these speeds. But the result is you really feel like you're in the car, and that's because Brad was doing it for real, and we had this new camera system we developed for this film that allowed us to be in the car with him.
Absolutely. And of course, we have Top Gun 3 coming up. That must be exciting as well.
Yes, it's a very exciting idea. Aaron Kruger, who wrote Top Gun, or wrote on Top Gun Maverick, and also wrote F1, is writing the script right now as we speak. We're very excited about the possibility of that.
Of course. Thank you so much. This is lovely talking to you. We were excited about Simone being a part of F1 as well, but probably next time.
Yeah. Thank you. See ya.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rudrani, and welcome to Speak Easy. My guest today is producer Jerry Bruckheimer, giving us all the details about F1 and so much more. Thank you for joining us, Jerry.
Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
So are we, because we want to know so much more about what's happening with F1. Because I thought when I saw the film, it was so thrilling for me. I could experience the track, the feel, the adrenaline, everything. Tell me how important it was for you to make sure the movie was authentic, closest to the viewers to experience F1 and its thrill and understand the sport better.
Well, I think what's most important about it is that our actors actually drove those cars. It's not special effects. They took 4 months out of their lives and practiced driving those cars. They started in a road car, then an F4 car, then an F3 car, and finally into our car. And the first time they were driving it was in front of 140,000 fans at Silverstone in England and 100 million people on television. So they couldn't make a mistake, and they were perfect at it, which is pretty scary. The last thing they want to do is to have a spin out or a crash in front of all those people. So the 4 months they put into it made it worthwhile.
When you say actors, of course, we have to bring up Brad Pitt, right? And
Yes.
The contribution and the effort that he's taken here is so evident when you see it on screen. Was your collaboration with Lewis Hamilton here as important because, he's someone, of course, who's been still a legend in the game himself. And how did that meeting turn out? And when, Brad wanted to drive the car and all of that conversation?
What happened, the first thing we did after Joe pitched me the idea of making this movie is we called Sir Lewis Hamilton and had lunch with him and say, would you like to be a part of this? We'd love to make you a producer on this. You can work with us and make sure we get this right, because you're a 7-time world champion and there couldn't be anybody better to advise us than you. And he said, sure, I'd love to. He loved the story. Then the next thing we did is we rented a track, took Brad to the track with Lewis and put him in a car just to make sure Brad was good enough in Lewis's eyes to be able to drive these big monster cars. And Lewis, after he took a run at the track, said Brad's an amazing athlete. He's got great hand coordination and he can do this. So Brad trained for 4 months along with Damson to be able to get in these cars and drive them appropriately.
It makes sense how he's driving so amazing. He was Lewis Hamilton approved, so no wonder. But like the usage of, I think the VFX and the green screens are very, very minimum. I'm assuming in the movie as well.
Absolutely right. No, every time you see Brad in that car, he's driving that car. There's no green screen, there's no blue screen, there's no wind fans, there's nothing. It's him actually going 180 miles an hour down those straightaways.
Fantastic. Jerry, I was just talking to Joseph, and he was telling me he's worked with Tom, and now he's working with Brad, and he was trying to say they're very similar as action stars and the passion that they have. You've obviously now worked and collaborated with Brad, and you're going to again with Tom. Do you find those similarities as well between some of the two biggest movie stars that we have?
Yeah, they're very similar in the way they have an enormous commitment to their craft. They work very hard at it. There's no stone unturned. It's got to be perfect. Everything. They work hard on the script. They train for these movies. Brad was in the car, got out of the car and had to train because it's so physically debilitating to get in these cars, taking those G-forces and those turns. So you gotta, for me, it's such a joy to see an actor who wants to do it for real. Now, not only did he drive the cars, he worked on the screenplay with us. He helped with the casting. He worked with us on the editing and the music. He was involved in every part of the movie, just like Tom is. They make a full commitment. Brad could have done 2 other movies, but he spent time with us. He made a huge commitment to make this movie the way it turned out. That's why it turned out so good.
It was lovely chatting with you, Jerry, and all the very best for F1. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
She asks tough questions like no other journalist.
The Dreamliners are suddenly the bad boys in the fleet. At any stage, have your people raised safety concerns on the Dreamliners to you? Is it easier in terms of handling a company